blacked out. There was no person when I looked at him.
I'm looking at it in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore.
When you don't have an option but to win regardless of the path that you chose, you will go to the highest extent to make it possible, isn't it? Amber's condition is somewhere very close to that. In the past few weeks into her testimony, the Aquaman actress has said things that bluntly don't make any sense to us, not to the juries. Yes, testimony is more like an adventure sport that has absolutely no limitations. Multiple times on the stand, Amber has made certain exclusive remarks about Johnny's actions while he was his partner, and few of such remarks do not make sense. These are mostly in a way made to put around a view that Johnny was the one to always beat up Amber, irrespective of the fact that she was an actress and such beating could deform her face and eventually her career in the industry. As per Amber's testimony, Johnny's beating was merciless. However, on the contrary, if in reality Johnny was to beat Amber in the manner she had explained it to the jury, it wouldn't have been possible for Amber to take that face out in public. But for a change, none of Johnny's whacking Amber on the face did anything significant to the actress's face. Rather, the scars or the marks were visible on Amber's knuckles. It appears more like it was Amber who consistently was beating up Johnny. Many have claimed the relationship between the two is toxic. However, such toxicity was clearly visible from Amber's side through her testimony. Maybe Johnny was also toxic to her, but Johnny's toxicity was not related to beating Amber because of Amber, except for her testimonies, was not able to prove whether any of Johnny's beatings were true. Now coming to the Rihanna part. The reason we elaborated on Amber's testimony of being whacked off by Johnny was a teaser to which Johnny was a victim. To make things even more aggravated, Amber has mimicked the famous American singer Rihanna. During Amber's testimony on the stand, she was severely accused of stealing words of the famous singer Rihanna from an interview which she had made years back. Apart from her other not-so-sense-making testimony, the actress is being accused of lifting a section of her testimony from Rihanna's interview about when she was being assaulted by Chris Brown. And that was pretty serious. At least Rihanna had pictures to prove her point, and she wasn't joking about it. There was an actual beating and a victim and scars and bruises. But in Amber's case, nothing of that sort was visible. Let's look into Rihanna's testimony.
He had no soul in his eyes, just blank. He was clearly...
Now that you have seen Rihanna, let's cut to her dupe, Amber Heard. Leave us a comment when you see the visible similarity.
He was clearly blacked out. There was no person when I looked at him.
I'm looking at it in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black.
Well, did you see what we saw? If yes, you are on the right track. Amber's reaction was a 100 times more exaggerated vision than Rihanna's. It should have been this time that she understood that this was a courtroom and not a shooting location, where you need to act it all out. Amber did her best to act out everything, making the jury understand the gravity of it. And if you thought that was over, there's more to it. Have a look.
And he was looking at me, and I was trying to get through to him. I was trying to say to him in some way that it was me. I was trying to get through to Johnny, and I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him at all.
That was the looking part. There is more at the beating part, which is quite abnormally unexpected.
At all. And my head was bashing against the back of the bar, and I couldn't breathe. And I remember trying to get up, and I was slipping on the glass. My feet were slipping, my arms were slipping on the countertops, and I remember just trying to get up so I could breathe, so I could tell him that he was really hurting me. I didn't think he knew what he was doing.
Can you believe any of what Amber said can actually be possible? Yes, in movies. Because if it was the same in real life, it wouldn't have been possible for Amber to not see a doctor. The head bashing she was referring to as a serious accusation because she could have been killed, the manner she explained it to the jury. Amber's accusations felt nothing more than just the part where you say cut to a movie shoot. She quite well designed the entire idea, but the pinch of beating was more than the actual storyline of the movie. She tried to be over-realistic and failed to explain the events and incidents of the situation. Neither her storyline nor her explanation of Johnny beating her could have been true. Amber, just understand, if Johnny were to really beat you up like that, you wouldn't possibly be attending interviews the very next day. Rather, it would be seeing the doctor and treating yourself. On the Rihanna part, it would be possible for Amber to just copy-paste or ask her media team to find out interviews of women who have suffered from domestic abuse by their partners. It was at that time that they found out about Rihanna's interview from 2009 when she opened up about her being assaulted by Chris Brown during her infamous ABC interview. Depp sued his ex-wife for $50 million in 2019 over an op-ed she penned for the Washington Post in 2018. "I stood out against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath," the piece stated. "This needs to change." Heard stated in it that she was a victim of domestic and sexual violence during her marriage. In retaliation, she has filed a countersuit seeking $100 million in damages. This high-profile trial began last month and has been covered by a variety of media sites, as well as being televised live. After deciding to mimic the proceedings in their most recent show, Saturday Night Live got controversy. Both Heard and Depp spoke about the alleged violence they inflicted on one another during their testimony. Heard has been turned into a slew of memes mocking her social media harassment. In response to Amber's statement, this clip of Rihanna went viral and has received millions of views on Twitter and TikTok. The words of Rihanna from 2009 and the mannerisms are being compared to Heard's testimony. Along with the clip, people have started to compare the memes of Rihanna's bruised face taken after the infamous Chris Brown incident alongside that of Amber, with the view to showcase what actual abuse looks like. Amber has gotten a high level of negative comments. For those who say #I stand with Amber Heard, this is how genuine abuse looks. While comparing photographs of the singer and Heard, one user tweeted, "Being beaten within an inch of your life and only having a Botox or filler bruise on your eye is not how you would appear." This is the story of Rihanna, a famous internet celebrity who actually suffered from domestic abuse. In February 2009, the then 21-year-old Rihanna was beaten up by her then-boyfriend Chris Brown. In this regard, Brown was sentenced to 5 years of probation, community labor, and 1 year of domestic violence counseling. Rihanna and Chris Brown's relationship is another example of how successful a person may be in life while yet being involved in an abusive relationship. Riri never talked about the abuse she received from the rapper throughout their relationship, but photos of her being hit in the face by the loyal singer went viral on social media. The meme which is used to compare is the one taken from Amber Heard's appearance on The Late Show with James Corden after the next day of Johnny Depp's abuse. Now, if it was true, would Amber be looking absolutely spotless just the day after getting beaten up? Amber ascertains that she used makeup to hide her abuses. But is that really so? This is what she said. "I got worried that I wouldn't be able to hide the bruising and swelling. I iced it all night and the next day checked in the mirror to see if I could get away with it, meaning hiding it, so I could make an appearance. I gambled and thought maybe I could pull it off. I had my hair and makeup team come. They worked around the bruising by covering it with heavy makeup, heavier makeup than normal bruise covering makeup. I remember my lip was still bleeding and swollen, so we did this really thick, super heavy matte red lipstick." Do her lips look swollen to you? It doesn't. Not even close to swollen. What are your views on Amber's conduct? Are you in support of the Aquaman actress? Comment below. Hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the post notification.